based on what I've seen, I just don't see ASR being a significant part of this at this time, and for those reasons. We have an ASR site on the Hillsborough Canal that will be one of the test sites. There's a lot of water quality monitoring, both the water going into and the water coming out. I was somewhat engaged several years ago in the level of effort on that monitoring. Very expensive, and I think it's got a long ways to go. So I don't really see ASR being a significant player, whether it's 300 wells or 50 wells and 50 bigger wells. I don't see that us banking on that technology at this time.
Regarding Executive Order 1282-898, how is it that South Florida Water Management District is implementing that? And how is the South Florida Water Management District looking at health disparities in reference to...
Explain for a second what 898 is.
12898 is an executive order that was issued during the Clinton administration, which called for agencies and activities regarding the environmental activities which had impact on minority and low-income communities to address those communities in relationship to that project in a number of areas. One was economic, but the other was also health impact and health disparities, in which the Yellow Book identified no minority communities in South Florida. So the premise and the basis for which the Yellow Book developed its plan says that there are no minority communities in the entire 17-county region of the South Florida Water Management District. So then it therefore did not see it necessary to have to comply with what the executive order had placed forward when President Clinton signed it in 1994. How are you addressing the executive order in terms of health impact and health disparities?
Let me add to that for a second, because I think we've really been talking about the executive order alone, not explicitly. But there's really three things to it. The first thing is the procurement, the making sure that minorities get contracts, get a ratio of contracts. The other one is the impact, the positive impact or negative impact on residents. And then, of course, the clear one is the health impact. And I think that's really what you were talking about. Is there anything that has been done on health impacts? Has there been any studies that actually look at that? Of course, that's especially important for people around Lake Okeechobee.
I don't honestly know the answer to that, but I'm happy to gather some information, get some feedback, and get the information back to you.
And I think, one of the things, of course, the three of you cannot answer all these questions, but I think what you see is, and what we also realized when we were organizing this conference, is that people really care about this. I couldn't believe how many responses we got when we were starting to talk about these things. People really want to know, and I think, my request to the Water Management District is that you need to try to do a better job in giving us information. People really do want to know, people do want to be engaged, and you need to give people a better opportunity to become engaged in a meaningful way. Yes?
How you doing? I have a quick question, and it's, I guess, directed more to Mr. Albers. As you know, I'm sure you're aware of the proposed buyout of the U.S. sugar farm land by the South Florida Water Management District. And the reason that's important to this discussion is because it was proposed by Governor Chris as a way to create an opportunity to create a flowway to reconnect Lake Okeechobee with the Everglades. And I think as far as the aquifers or the reservoirs, that flowway was going to be used as a way to kind of reduce our reliance upon reservoirs. So that was just something I wanted to throw out there in response to some of the things Larimore talked about the ASRs. I think that if that flowway was to be put into place, then that would reduce the need for as many reservoirs. But my question is more so about transparency. I read several articles relating to the proposed buyout, and based on those articles, a large portion, if not all of the discussions, revisions included between South Florida Water Management District and U.S. Sugar representatives took place behind closed doors. And it was stated matter-of-factly in those articles that I read, so much so that a representative for one of the wealthiest families in the state of Florida, the Fanhool family who runs Okalana, even their representative said that they were not at the table to discuss the proposed buyout, despite being a major player in possible land swaps to make that whole proposal a reality. So I'm saying if the Fanhool representatives can be left out of the negotiations that may impact where I live, the EAA, and I live in Everglades, and we talking about the loss of a possible 1,200 to 2,000 jobs. If such a powerful entity as the Fanhools can be left out of negotiations, then what does that say about we the people? And I guess my question is, will there be an opportunity in the foreseeable future? Because we had several cards where concerned citizens paid their own postage and sent it to the governor as well as South Florida Water Management District requesting that someone come and hear us out before they made any decisions regarding the buyout. And we have yet to have that meeting with the governor, a representative, or someone from the South Florida Water Management District. And we have a commissioner on the, one of our city commissioners whose job it is, or responsibility, to update us at city commission meetings as to the progress of the deals, the changes, and every time we have a city commission meeting, his words are, you guys know just as much as I know. Meaning he's being left out of the loop, and he's a representative of the city of Everglades. So if the Fanhool representative can be left out, if our city commissioner can be left out, then you can see how we don't even feel like we stand a chance to be informed. So I'm wondering, in the near future, will there be an opportunity for we the people? Because I noticed you said that you solicit and welcome community input. Will there be an opportunity for us to come to the table and hear what's going on with that proposed buyout from the power brokers who are the major players involved?
I can't tell you if there will be an opportunity, but our comments are being taken back to the executive director. So we are summarizing the questions that we hear today, the concerns, and those will be back in the executive director's hands. So your question will be heard.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
The other thing I would point out, documents related to the purchase are on the district website. If you go to the district homepage, on the right-hand side, there's an icon that says Reviving the River of Grass. Documents are being posted there on a regular basis with respect to the status of purchase and things like that. So you may find that as a source of some information. But as Joe said, we will be taking these questions and information back.
But
Yes.
I'm sorry, but normally
Yes.
after the decision has been made, so.
Yeah.
And one more comment. We have mentioned the webpage a couple of times. Don't look on here this weekend. I can tell you it's not working. We're hooking up a new generator to our data center, and we have to take it down so nobody can, and it'll be the first chance we get no emails on the weekend sometimes. So wait till Monday and it'll be up.
One last comment that no one mentioned, and it may be too late for some of the issues here, but you know, every month the governing board by whom we, the district, govern, there is a monthly governing board meeting which is publicly noticed, and there's also an agenda of all the items that have come up. And as the gentleman mentioned there with the local representative, if he or she should be in tune to our monthly meetings. And again, it comes right back to the website. It's all on the website. Everything is publicly noticed. And any type discussion, it's there. And I don't know the methodology for the public to be able to get their questions in. But there's an avenue, and we know what's coming up.
Yes, sir.
to first thank Dr. Calloway and Dr. Boss for putting this wonderful conference together, and to thank everybody on the panel and the audience for attending. I would first like to have, not necessarily today, but I'd like to have a better understanding of the overall efforts that have been put into place so far with regard to education and awareness with the overall Everglades Restoration Plan in terms of the general public and especially minority populations in a multilingual setting, as far as explaining and understanding what the restoration of the Everglades is all about. I would also like to suggest a newsletter, whether it be in print or online, to include all of the updates, all of the progress, all of the telephone numbers that people can call to get a better understanding of the whole process of the Everglades restoration. It is very complex. It is very multi-tiered, and I think this is very important overall for the general public to be able to understand and therefore understand their role better in the ecosystem. Secondly, I'd like to ask and suggest, if this has not been done yet, is to whether a conversation has taken place with the community with regards to determining the needs of the community for future education, information, and outreach activities. Following up with this with respect to the needs that the communities see, hopefully a budget can be put into place and publicly announced as to funding that is available and may be available for the future in order to carry out an education and information campaign.
Anybody want to respond to this?
Hi, I'm Rebecca Gargoyle. I work as an environmental policy consultant at the National Parks Conservation Association. And I just wanted to let everybody in the room know there is a website that is run by the Corps of Engineers. I do not work for the Corps of Engineers, but I just want to let you know that there's a website called evergladesplan.org. And it's a good website. You can find out more about, in general, what Everglades restoration is, what the different projects are. You can download project descriptions, and the Corps of Engineers posts on that website monthly newsletters about what's happening in restoration. They may not be exactly what you're looking for, but that is a place to go, and that might be a place for you to start looking at and telling the Corps what you think would be a better way for them to organize their materials. But that, for me, has been a great resource, and I think it may be to other folks in the room, too, who are interested. So I just wanted to share that. That's evergladesplan.org, once again.
And I believe on that site, and you can correct me if you recall, you can also sign up for notices of meetings in your area, things like that.
That is correct. You can get on an email mailing list to be notified
So,
about
for instance,
projects.
if you wanted to have a meeting of a project delivery team meeting that's going to be in your area on a project that you're interested in, you receive an email notice giving you the information as to where and when you can pull down agenda materials. Generally, if the meeting's not, shall we say, geographically convenient, there's going to be a call-in number, those types of things.
Thank you. All right, Olivia.
I just had a quick question. I hear a lot of reference to the internet, and if this is